Alex, what's up? Alright. So, just want you to check yourself out at the bottom here. I'm just going to speed this up a little bit. See how you're kind of moving around? Alright, you can actually see it. I'll slow it down here. So when you come down, you're kind of oscillating a bit. So the bar kind of like moves up and down. So it's kind of bouncing and bouncing and bouncing, okay? And the torso position's moving. See how it's moving forward, okay? So, like I said yesterday, I like to be able to look at the bottom, look at that pause, and have you completely motionless, okay? See all that moving around? I want none of that during the pause. So let's really focus on that, and we'll emphasize that staying nice and tight, okay? No movement whatsoever. So you're gonna have to keep tension upwards into the bar, especially on that one too. You kind of rush that bottom position. Very common that people are pausing, and then when they go to initiate, they'll dive bomb a little bit. So watch what happens to your hip. See how it comes down. So you're like here, and then you initiate down and then up, okay? Super common, so just be aware of that. I don't want that to happen. Alright, and for these, essentially we want the pause so your elbows are at 90 degrees. It looks pretty good here. I do see the bar drifting a little bit. You see how it's drifting, okay? Good tension on the bottom though. I know that we've been working on that, about keeping tension at the bottom. And then on the way up, so if you just look at that up phase, you can look at where your elbow is, and then look at where your elbow is on the down phase. See how your elbows is just about where the safety is, all right, and see how high it is here. We essentially want the elbow to stay at 90 degrees. This is actually a good pause right here. All right, elbows are just about at 90 degrees, okay? And it's a bit high on the way up. I want the elbows right about here, okay, on that way up. So let's really mimic the down phase. Also too, if you notice here, so your pause, just like your squat, you come down first and then up. I'll play that real speed, down and then up. Alright, like I said, that's a very common thing to happen, so just be aware that we want to make sure that that doesn't happen. See if it happens in the last one. No, it doesn't. Alright. And also, let's make sure that we're holding the lockout for at least 2 seconds. It's as written in the description. Okay, we want to just reinforce 1, 2. We just want to reinforce that lockout. We don't want to rush it. Very common, people rush the rush the rack position in the bench press. Okay. All right. I think the pause duration's good. Stability could be a little bit better. You notice how the bar is kind of moving around. It actually kind of comes down first and then back up again. So let's make sure that we're going nice and slow off the floor, so we're not hearing the bar come off the ground. Also, what I want to try to do next week, next time you do these, is I want you to watch your back angle, okay? Now notice how essentially what we want is the hips and shoulders to rise together, right? And that's happening. But what happens is when you go to pause, notice how your chest starts opening and your hips kind of stay where they are. See how your chest rises and your hips and shoulders are no longer moving up together. So what I would like you to do next time is I want the shoulders and the hips to rise together, so the knees are going to push back, and then let's pause that position right there. It might not be exactly at the knee, but it's going to be somewhere around the knee. Essentially what I want you to do is maintain your back angle right to about here. Hold that position for 2 seconds and then stand up. Alright, and let's make sure that head stays straight. Okay, I know you're probably checking to make sure your video is working correctly, but let's just stay focused, keep the head straight, and keep kicking butt, man, okay?